The film opens at the National Opera House. Many people come to attend the program. A CIA agent and a senior Russian military officer sit in the main cabin. Just as the function is about to begin, several armed men suddenly enter the opera, shooting from all sides. Within minutes they take control of the entire hall. The CIA agent panics at the sight of the armed men and starts to leave, but the Russian military officer stops him. The police force reaches there in no time. Outside the opera, some people in police uniforms are sitting in a van, and they are being led by the main character of the film named Protagonist. As the police arrive, the men join the police and enter the opera. They break into the opera with the cops and reach the CIA agent's room. After killing a Russian military officer, they talk to a CIA agent and inquire about a package. The CIA agent tells them that the package is in the coat. The protege leads the CIA agent down the hall by rappelling rope. He asks his partner to the CIA agent with him. Meanwhile, Protagonist comes in front of the policeman, but an unknown person dressed in a police uniform saves him, and Protagonist goes to find the package himself. Protagonist finds the package. He tells his team to take out the CIA agent and goes back to the hall himself to collect the time bombs thrown by the cops and throws them over the balcony and gets out in his van. Some people on Protagonist's team are playing both sides. They catch him and one of his team members and tie them to a railway track and ask about the package. They extract the cyanide from the protagonist's jacket, but Protagonist ingests his team member's cyanide when he gets the chance. Protagonist opens his eyes on a ship. He discovers that the cyanide drug is an anesthetic. A man stands next to him. He tells him that he has passed the test. Protagonist becomes confused. The man tells him that Tenet is an organization and that the organization has chosen him to stop World War III. He and that man continue to talk, and he takes him on a small ship to a windmill at sea. Protagonist moves into it. Inside, he finds a bag containing his necessities and a gun. Protagonist stays here for a few days, exercises, and waits for his next order. One day the ship's horn sounds. He wears a worker's uniform and goes out, and another worker comes in his place. He comes to the dock from the ship. A car is parked for him. He sits in it and goes to the scientist. The scientist asks him to shoot at a target. He sees the gun, but there is no bullet in it. The scientist tells him to shoot anyway. He pulls the trigger and the gun fires. The scientist asks him to look at the magazine. He sees the magazine and there are bullets in it. He doesn't understand anything. The scientist tells him that the bullet is going back in time. We fired the bullet means we have moved forward in time, but the bullet has gone back in time. Protagonist asks him who is doing all this and how these bullets reached him. To which she replies that some people from the future are developing such pills and other such things. She tells him that his job is to find the people who are changing the timing of these things. She gives him more bullets and he starts testing them. During the investigation, he finds out that these bullets are made in India, and he comes to India and starts looking for the arms dealer in India. He finds out that his name is Sanjay Singh. Sanjay does not go out of the house, and there is a lot of security around his house. He is thinking about the means to reach it. Protagonist meets Neil. Neil tells her that Sanjay Singh is a very dangerous man. To this day, no one who has visited him has ever returned alive. For that, both of them have to make a plan together and enter his house. Protagonist is confused as to how Neil knows so much about his plan and his mission, but he joins hands with him at that point. At night, Sanjay is at home. Neil War Protector jumps to his house with a rope. Their plan succeeds and they reach Sanjay. Protagonist asks Sanjay about pills. Sanjay does not give a satisfactory answer. On further investigation, it is revealed that the pills are not being taken by his wife Priya. Protagonist sits with Priya. Priya tells him that she sold these pills to Andrei Sator of the Russian mafia, but when she sold these pills, they were normal pills, and she doesn't know who is turning them back in time. Priya gives a clue that Andrei must be having a relationship with some future person, and he is giving her all this. If they reach Andrei, they can solve this problem. The protege asks him about Andrei. Priya tells that Andrei is a part of the Russian mafia, and it is not so easy to meet him. They can meet him through his wife Kate. Kate is also surrounded by extreme security. Priya tells her that Kate is fond of paintings and is quite an expert in distinguishing between original and fake paintings, and Michael Crosby can help her with this task. He may meet her under any similar pretext. After such a long time, the police also reach there. Protagonist and Neil leave. The next day they meet Michael. Michael is a British agent and he tells her that Kate and Andrei don't get along And things are cold between the two because Kate sold a very expensive painting of Andre's as a fake. He further informs her that he has another painting by the same painter whose name is Goya. He can get to her under the painting, and maybe Kate can get him to Andre. Protagonist arrives at Kate with the painting and sends her a message as per the plan that he has the original painting. Upon hearing this, Kate agrees to meet him. Kate meets him, but she knows his lie because Andre had beaten the painter a lot. She catches his lie. Kate becomes emotional in the conversation, telling him that the sale of his painting had caused a rift between her and Andre. He doesn't even let her meet his son Max. Protagonist asks him why he never tried to fix it all. She tells him that she tried when they were on tour in Vietnam. Then he tried to get close to him on the ship, but Andre did not come close. When she came back with her son, Max, another girl was there, and Andre and the girl left after a while. Protagonist makes a deal with her that he will steal the painting for her in return for her meeting with Andre. Kate agrees. Protagonist comes from there and meets Neil. He tells all this to Neil. They both start planning to steal the painting. They discover that there is a place called Freeport behind the airport in Oslo, where Andre also has a locker that currently houses the painting. Neil goes there disguised as a rich man and takes information about the place. There is a lot of security at this place. Neil finds out that there is no way to set the fire there as hydrochloric gas has been installed, and in case of any burglary, all the doors are sealed so that no thief can escape. Both of them meet another man named Mar to carry out the theft. Together, they plan to crash a gold-carrying plane into the building. Doing so will distract the security there from collecting the gold bars and give them time to retrieve the painting from Andre's locker. The three of them crash a plane into a building according to the plan, and when they get a chance, they open Andre's locker. But there is no paint inside, but there are two big red and blue chambers. As soon as they open the chamber, two men come out from inside and attack them. Those men are fighting back in time. After a lot of trouble, Protagonist and Neil get rid of them. The next day, Protagonist meets Kate and tells her that they have stolen the painting and now they have to meet Andre as per their deal. Kate introduces him to Andre at night as per their deal. Andre finds out about the incident in Oslo and becomes suspicious of the protagonist. He threatens to kill her. Hearing this, Protagonist tells him that he has an offer for him too. He tells her that he will steal the platinum for her which he has been looking for a long time. Andre agrees and allows her to stay on as a guest. At night, some people from future are giving Andre a bar of gold. All this Protagonist is watching from a window. Suddenly Andre's henchman comes there and he beats him badly. Andre also comes there. He starts to kill her, but Protagonist tells him that killing her will never get him the platinum. Hearing this, Andre leaves her. Neil and the protagonists come up with a plan to steal the platinum. The platinum is to be replaced by a huge van, and the two of them plan to steal the platinum using different vehicles. Andre and Kate arrive in Freeport, and Andre asks her to get into a machine, but Kate refuses. On hearing this, Andre beats him and goes inside the machine himself. On the other hand, Neil and Protagonist are ready for the heist. As per their plan, they park their trucks around the van carrying the platinum and trap it in the middle. Protagonist goes inside the van and brings the platinum box. When he gets into the car and sees the box, it contains a box of algorithms instead of platinum. They are about to leave when Andre arrives there in a car. Kate also accompanies him. She asks them for the box and asks to kill Kate if she doesn't give it. Neil is driving the car, but some cars are reversing. This is because some vehicles are running backward in time. To save Kate's life, he hands over the box to Andre and Andre drives away, but Kate gets trapped in the car. Protagonist tells Neil to drive right next to Kate's car and jumps into her car and saves Kate's life by pressing the brake with his hand. But Andre's men arrive there and capture them both and bring them to Freeport. There are two color rooms. One red and one blue. The people in the red room are in their present time, while the people in the blue room are traveling backward in time. Andre asks Protagonist about the platinum, but he replies that he stole it from him. Andre's man is telling her everything word for word. Protagonist tells her that he just gave her the box from the car moments ago. Hearing this, Andre shoots Kate and leaves. Neil and Protagonist decide that they will save Kate's life at any cost. Neil suggests that they can go back in time with the machine and save her, but Protagonist says that doing so would put them back under Andre's control. Protagonist says they should go back a week to arrive at the airport in time for the heist. Meanwhile, another team arrives there and their name is Ives. This team is sent by Priya. Protagonist discovers that Neil, Eve, and Priya are also part of the Tenet organization that is to be formed in the future, and they know all about the future. Neil, Kate, and the protagonists go inside the machine and travel back 7 days. Protagonist realizes that by going back 7 days he will meet his duplicate from that time, and he thinks that he should kill them first, and then they both get there. Eve's people tell her that after going through this machine, her life will go back in time. And he'll need an oxygen mask to go back in time, and if he hits his true form, he'll explode and wear a suit. He then goes back in time and arrives at a plane crash. As he returns, he is confronted by Protagonist of the time. He fights with him and wastes all the bullets from the gun. Because he knows all his movements, he gets there before Protagonist of the time changes it all and leaves. Neil goes through the machine with Kate. Neil tells Protagonist that he works for the Tenet organization. He tells her that after some time there will be a scientist who will master time and this work, but her discovery falls into the hands of the wrong people and they want to destroy this world. For this task, they need an algorithm that is divided into 9 parts. And the box he gave Andre that contained the algorithm was the 9th part. Protagonist remembers Michael telling him that Andre came from a place in Russia where a bomb exploded at some point. A team was sent there after the bomb, but they were all killed. Protagonist thinks the egg killed them and found the time capsule there and now hides the algorithm there. Ive's team splits into 2. The red team is now going on this mission. Neil is part of Blue Tom who has already completed the mission. The team lands there and starts searching for the algorithm. Protagonist goes into a tunnel with a companion. Protagonist finds the algorithm in the tunnel but suddenly fires it. Suddenly Neil kills the shooter and the algorithm takes them out before it burrows into the ground. Protagonist asks Neil about his sudden arrival. He tells her that he is part of the Tenet organization. And he is hired by Protagonist. At this time, their friendship is ending, but they will meet again in the future. Neil starts to leave and Protagonist sees his bag. It was the same bag worn by his assistant at the opera house. He realizes that he has been sent by future's Protagonist to help him. On the other hand, Kate shoots Andre and also jumps into the sea. This is the same Vietnam tour villa scene. Kate visits her son Max. Priya is there to immortalize him. Protagonist is also in the car. He says that he knows that the Tenet organization belongs to him and is about to kill Kate, but this is not in his heart, and he kills Priya himself. The film ends here.